Either we have a Second Amendment or we don't. The whole purpose of the Constitution was to preserve individual rights, whether it's speech, travel, privacy, or self-defense, from the overwhelming passion of the public. So the question is, should law-abiding citizens lose a fundamental liberty because of what some crazies among us have done? We have almost always answered that question, no. We look out for and prosecute the crazies. We don't take the rights away from those who don't abuse them.
And Judge, they took it one step further, the Founding Fathers did when they wrote that Second Amendment. They said the rights shall not, to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed upon. Takes it one step further, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, Eric, and I appreciate you mentioning that. It's really one of the clearest parts of the entire Constitution. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, meaning the government shall not, may not interfere with this. The Supreme Court has said, in your own home, in your backyard, on your property, you have an absolute right to have a weapon. The Second Amendment was not written to protect the rights of hunters because the people who wrote it already assumed that everybody had the right to hunt, because that's the way a lot of them gathered food for their families and for their businesses. But they had just finished fighting a revolution against a tyrant, King George III, and the mightiest army and navy known to the world at the time, that of Great Britain. And the only way they were able to do that was because they had the arms and armaments with which to fight the tyrant. So to make sure that the new government here would not do the same thing to the Americans here that the British had done to the colonists, they made certain that the government would not interfere with our right to protect ourselves. It's another one of those checks and balances. Before somebody in the White House got crazy ideas about taking people's rights, that person had to think twice. These people are not going to go quietly, and they have the means with which to resist. That's the whole purpose behind the Second Amendment. When you hear a politician saying it's for hunting, that's code for, I don't believe in the Second Amendment. Once we see that list, we'll know whether or not the president and this administration are faithful to their oaths, their solemn oaths to uphold the Constitution, which includes the Second Amendment.